May I provide you with some refreshment?
Do you have gin?
More than 100 years have passed since Agatha Christie unveiled her first novel in 1920, yet her influence on the cozy crime genre remains as powerful as ever, shaping stories both on the page and on the screen. I mean, her legendary status as the queen of crime has secured a dazzling variety of adaptations on radio, stage, screen, and beyond. Even though a select few, like Postern of Fate, have yet to make the leap from page to performance, I know the timeless favorites like And Then There Were None and Murder on the Orient Express have gripped generations. But this time, Netflix is turning the spotlight on a lesser-known treasure for its latest mystery miniseries, The Seven Dials Mystery. Before we get started in our exploration, I have to mention, guys, there will be some major spoilers ahead. With our warnings aside, let us begin. Now, before we begin, it's imperative that we know a little about the story. Many of Christie's novels are known for featuring Hercule Poirot and Miss Marple, but The Seven Dials Mystery centers on amateur detective Lady Eileen Bundle Brent. The story follows an aristocratic socialite, Lady Eileen, who is looking into the mysterious death of Jerry Wade, a friend of hers, who dies after a prank with 7 alarm clocks at a country house party. Her investigation draws her into a dangerous world of espionage, secret societies, and stolen secret. Inspector Battle and other allies help Bundle uncover the truth behind several murders and the international intrigue connected to them. With that out of the way, here are some of the differences and changes we noticed.
I'm not in the habit of being followed. If there's any following to be done, I greatly prefer to be the one doing it.
Bundle and Battle teamed up before Seven Dials. If you've been reading Agatha Christie's books for a while, you'll know that Bundle and Battle already know each other. I know it's hard to believe, but they met in a previous novel, The Secret of Chimney. In that story, they look into another murder that also occurred at Chimney's during a party that Bundle's father was hosting. However, they meet for the very first time in Netflix's Seven Dials, and Bundle didn't even know that Battle is a Scotland Yard superintendent. The Secret of Chimneys also introduces several characters who make their reappearance in the Seven Dials mystery, such as George Lomax and Bill Eversleigh. In The Secret of Chimneys, Lomax talks Bundle's father into hosting a party, but one of the guests ends up dead. Superintendent Battle leads the investigation, and Bundle helps however she can.
We are acquainted. You were at school with Jerry and my son.
Bundle's mother is dead in the book, and she has no brother. In Netflix's Agatha Christie's Seven Dials, Helena Bonham Carter steps into the role of Lady Caterham, Bundle's mother. If you have read the books, you will know that this is a striking departure from the original novel, in which Bundle's mother has already passed away, and Bundle shares her home with her father, Lord Caterham. The show also invents a brother for Bundle, while in the book, she wryly remarks that her mother must have grown weary of raising only daughters. So one can say that the miniseries flips the script by making Bundle's father the one who dies, weaving his absence into the heart of the story. By introducing a brother lost to war, the show deepens Lady Caterham's motivations, giving her character new emotional layers and a compelling reason for the altered family history. This is a major hint at something we will be looking into soon, so let's not digress further. Bundle had no relationship with Jerry Wade. One of the most striking changes in Agatha Christie's Seven Dials adaptation is the dynamic between Bundle and Jerry Wade, something that no one saw coming. On the screen, their connection sparks during a fleeting yet meaningful encounter at a party, with Jerry hinting at a proposal. In contrast, the original novel keeps their paths barely crossed, with only a single meeting and no hint of romance. None. In the novel, Bundle's journey into the mystery begins because of her restless curiosity and thirst for adventure. When she stumbles upon Jerry's unfinished letter to her sister, the cryptic mention of Seven Dials catches her off guard and piques her interest. The intrigue deepens when she nearly hits Ronnie Devereaux with her car just after he is shot. With Ronnie uttering Seven Dials once more, Bundle is drawn irresistibly into the investigation. Bundle and her mother aren't in the chimneys when Jerry dies. As Agatha Christie's Seven Dials opens, Bundle and her mother, Lady Caterham, step into the lively world of a party at Chimneys, thrown by the affluent Coots who are renting the estate from Lady Caterham. However, unlike in the original novel, Bundle and her mother are not present at the chimneys when Jerry Wade meets his mysterious end. So here's what happens in the Seven Dials mystery. Lady Coote and Sir Oswald take up residence in the chimneys and invite a lively bunch of young guests to stay. Instead of a grand celebration, the story takes a darker turn when Jerry Wade is found dead after his friends play a mischievous prank, sneaking 8 alarm clocks into his room. But the unexpected scenario occurs the following morning. Jerry is found lifeless, with 7 out of the 8 alarm clocks lined up with eerie precision. Bundle will later uncover that this chilling arrangement was a warning from the Seven Dials to the real murderer, not a confession of guilt. In fact, she and her father, Lord Caterham, only arrive at chimneys after the Cootes have departed, missing the tragic event entirely. Who was involved with the stealing of the formula? As the story develops, Bundle discovers a secret plan to steal a valuable formula from the scientist Eberhard after overhearing a secret Seven Dials meeting. Wanting to find out more, she tries to get invited to George Lomax's exclusive party, where Eberhard will be in attendance. Bill and Jimmy join her because they were both eager to learn more about the mystery. That was in the books. In the Netflix miniseries, Lorraine, Jerry's half-sister, arrives at George Lomax's estate right after Jimmy Thesiger is shot. Jimmy claims he was hurt while trying to stop an intruder in the library. Things become more complicated when Lorraine suddenly escapes with the formula, leaving Lomax's home and heading for the train station. In the novel, Lorraine gets a package with the formula, but before she can leave, Superintendent Battle stops her. She pretends not to know anything, saying the package just fell from a window, but the truth is revealed later. Jimmy actually faked the fight, threw the formula to Lorraine, and then shot himself on purpose. Superintendent Battle figures out Jimmy's role in the theft when he finds a burned glove with teeth marks. The glove is too big for Jimmy, but it gives away the truth. Jimmy used it to fire the gun without leaving fingerprints, then pulled it off with his teeth after shooting himself.
And to prevent fingerprints, pulled it off with your teeth.
Now, speaking of the formula, the book says it was stolen from Herr Eberhard, a German inventor. However, in the miniseries, the role is reassigned to Dr. Cyril Matip. Bundle and the criminals never cross paths on the train. Since Lorraine never escapes with the formula in the original story, there is no chase. In fact, there is also no train confrontation between Bundle, Lorraine, and Jimmy Thesiger. Instead, Bill, Bundle, Lorraine, and Jimmy keep investigating together. Bill later visits Jimmy at his home, saying he has no information about the plot and Jerry's death. After Jimmy and Bill talk, Jimmy calls Bundle and asks her and Lorraine to come to the Seven Dials Club. Jimmy arrives along with Bill, who for some reason decides to stay in the car. Jimmy then tells Lorraine to ask Bill to come inside, but they find Bill unconscious in the car. They carry him into the club, and this is when things start to change. Jimmy hits Bundle from behind, knocking her out. When she wakes up, she hears Bill calling her. Bill explains that Jimmy and Lorraine were working together the whole time, and that Jimmy tried to poison him. But Bill already suspected Jimmy, so he only pretended to drink what Jimmy gave him. Bill Eversley, the member of the Seven Dials. In Netflix's adaptation of Agatha Christie's Seven Dials, Bill Eversley plays a more subdued role than in the original novel. In Christie's story, Bill quite boldly reveals his membership in the secretive Seven Dials Society and exposes Jimmy and Lorraine as the masterminds behind the formula. This all happens before the group reaches the club, and Bill's revelations, well, that sets the stage for the Seven Dials to successfully apprehend Jimmy and Lorraine. Other than Bill, Jerry Wade and Ronnie Devereaux were also members of the Seven Dials, who unfortunately fell victim to Jimmy and Lorraine's deadly scheme. Bundle soon discovers that Superintendent Battle is also part of the clandestine group, mirroring the Netflix miniseries. In a bittersweet twist, Bundle is invited to join the Seven Dials, filling the void left by Jerry Wade's untimely death. Bundle's family isn't as involved as shown in the miniseries. Now, we know that Seven Dials was changed in several ways for the screen, like changes to Bundle and Jerry's relationship. One of the biggest differences is Bundle's family connection or involvement in the Seven Dials case. In the Netflix miniseries, Bundle finds out her father died while working for the Seven Dials, a secret group that protects the country. She also discovers that her mother, Lady Caterham, plans to steal the formula from the scientist. But none of this happened originally because Bundle's mother had already died before the story begins, so she is not involved in the crime, and her father is not part of the Seven Dials, although Bill Eversley is. The romantic plot point was also changed. Agatha Christie's Seven Dials gave Bundle a different love interest, and that was kind of a miss in the series. So what happens is that in the Netflix show, she is about to get engaged to Jerry Wade before he is killed. In the novel, Bundle is not in a relationship, though feelings sorta develop between her and Bill Eversley as they investigate. How cute is that? And when Jimmy hits Bundle and she wakes up, Bill confesses his love for her, and Bundle returns his affections. Their romantic moment is interrupted when the Seven Dials arrive. Superintendent Battle then elaborates on what happened and how they have managed to capture Jimmy and Lorraine. In the end, Bill and Bundle get engaged with Lord Caterham's blessing, which is such a classic Christie resolution. The ending. The adaptation keeps the original setup, but the ending is very different. In the book, the story is a classic whodunit about a stolen formula and a murder. The series, though, turns the story into a deeper emotional tragedy about family betrayal. Doesn't that make you curious about how it all ends? In both the book and the series, the main killers are the same. Lorraine Wade, who is Jerry's half-sister, poisons him because she thinks he is close to discovering the plan to steal the formula. Jimmy Thesiger helps her and shoots Johnny Devereaux since Ronnie knows too much. In the show, Jimmy even shoots himself in the arm to distract everyone so Lorraine can steal the formula. These events match what happens in the 1929 novel. But there is a big change when it comes to Bundle's parents. I know they have greater involvement, as I mentioned before, but just hear me out. In the book, Bundle's father is Lord Caterham, who is clumsy but harmless and not involved in any crime. In the Netflix series, this character is renamed Lady Caterham and played by Helena Bonham Carter. Helena should have been a hint that something major would involve her. So in a twist only found in the brand new series, Lady Caterham is revealed as the mastermind. She organizes the Chimneys party to gather information and gets Lorraine and Jimmy to help steal the formula. She acts out of grief and financial problem. After losing her son and husband to war in service, she feels let down by her country. She plans to sell the formula to keep her family from going bankrupt. If this video has drawn you into the unfolding story, you're in luck because all the episodes are now available to stream on Netflix. So which adaptation captured your imagination? Share your favorites in the comments below.